In the realms where time and spirit intertwine, the day you were born is not merely a number on a calendar. It is a sacred marker, a symbol of your entry into this world, imbued with spiritual significance. The wisdom of ancient civilizations, from numerology to astrology, suggests that the day of our birth holds profound insights into our essence, our mission, and the hidden layers of who we are. Even in modern times, this understanding persists, offering a glimpse into the intricate design of our lives. As Mark Twain once said, "The two most important days in your life are the day you were born and the day you discover why." So today, we will embark on a journey through the spiritual and mystical aspects of birth dates. We will explore the significance of your birth date not only as a cosmic event, but as an essential part of your soul's blueprint. We will uncover how specific birth dates resonate with spiritual archetypes, marking individuals as chosen ones who carry unique missions on Earth. Through a blend of spiritual traditions, biblical insights, and numerological wisdom, we will decode the deeper meanings of birth dates and reveal how each one carries a divine purpose, waiting to be discovered. Time, in the physical world, is linear. However, in spiritual realms, time is seen as cyclical and interconnected. Ancient cultures like the Mayans, Egyptians, and Sumerians perceived time not as a mundane series of passing moments, but as a divine sequence that governs life, death, and rebirth. To them, the moment of your birth is no mere accident. It is a point on the cosmic timeline, predetermined to align your soul with its divine purpose. The Bible reinforces this concept with a profound insight. "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart." This verse speaks to the idea that every soul is created with a unique mission, known to the divine long before our physical birth. Just as the hairs on our heads are numbered, so too are the days and moments of our lives woven into the fabric of a greater cosmic plan. In much the same way, numerology teaches us that each date holds a unique vibrational energy, one that shapes not only your personality, but also your destiny and spiritual journey. Numbers, according to this ancient wisdom, are not random or meaningless. They are part of the divine architecture that underpins all creation, influencing everything from the stars in the sky to the lives we lead here on Earth. Within this sacred framework, your birth date is no mere coincidence. It is an intentional marker, intricately woven into the fabric of the cosmos, designed to lead you toward the profound discovery of your soul's true purpose. But what does it really mean to be chosen? Could it be that the moment you entered this world was not simply the beginning of your life, but a cosmic appointment to a greater mission? Could your birth date hold hidden clues to that purpose, an ancient code waiting to be deciphered? The answer to these questions lies in understanding the different archetypes of the chosen ones. Souls sent into this realm with distinct roles, each role influenced by the specific energy of the day they were born. Throughout history, the concept of being chosen has appeared in various forms, from biblical prophets to spiritual leaders, from warriors of truth to healers of humanity. In every culture and religion, the chosen ones are those who seem to carry a divine calling, often marked by a higher sense of purpose, insight, and responsibility. In the context of birth dates, certain days carry special energy, denoting individuals who are born with a specific mission. These individuals, through their unique experiences, challenges, and gifts, are called to guide, heal, protect, or awaken those around them. By understanding the spiritual archetypes associated with different birth dates, we can begin to decode our own path and recognize the divine role we are meant to play. If you were born between January 1st and 10th, you are an oracle, a soul gifted with the ability to see beyond the veil of time and space. Oracles are the visionaries, the seers, and the guides of the spiritual world. From the ancient oracles of Delphi to modern-day mystics, this archetype is known for its ability to connect with higher realms and offer wisdom to those seeking clarity in times of uncertainty. As an oracle, Your mission is to help others navigate the complexities of life. You have an innate ability to understand the hidden connections between events and can see the ripple effects of choices before they unfold. This makes you a beacon of hope, especially in moments of crisis. People are drawn to you for guidance because you provide insight that goes beyond the obvious. You hold the key to unlocking the spiritual truths that are often hidden from ordinary perception. The challenge for the oracle is to trust in their gift. In a world driven by logic and reason, it can be difficult to rely on intuition and spiritual insight. However, your gift is not meant to be dismissed. It is a vital tool in helping others find their way. Embrace your ability to see the unseen and use it to illuminate the path for others. If your birthday falls between March 11th and 20th, you are a free spirit, a soul that cannot be confined by the rules and expectations of society. Free spirits are the rebels, the dreamers, and the explorers. They are driven by an insatiable desire to experience life in its fullest form, seeking adventure, freedom, and self-expression above all else. Your mission as a free spirit is to remind the world that true freedom is an inherent right. You live by your own rules, refusing to conform to the limitations that society tries to impose. You are the embodiment of authenticity, and your life is a testament to the power of living without fear of judgment. But being a free spirit comes with its own set of challenges. You are often misunderstood or labeled as an outsider because your path is so radically different from the norm. However, it is precisely this difference that makes you a leader in the quest for personal freedom. You show others that life is meant to be lived fully, with passion and purpose. Your presence inspires those around you to break free from their own limitations and embrace the boundless possibilities that life has to offer. Those born between April 21st and 30th are truth-tellers, souls compelled to seek and speak the truth no matter how difficult or uncomfortable it may be. Truth-tellers are the defenders of honesty, justice, and transparency. They have an innate need to expose the lies and deceptions that permeate society, often challenging the status quo in the process. As a truth-teller, your mission is to reveal the hidden truths that others are too afraid to confront. You are not one to shy away from conflict, especially when it comes to matters of integrity. In a world where manipulation and deceit are often used for personal gain, you stand as a beacon of honesty and moral courage. Your voice is one that cannot be silenced, even in the face of opposition. However, the path of the truth-teller is not an easy one. Speaking the truth can be a lonely and dangerous endeavor, as it often disrupts the comfortable illusions that people cling to. But it is precisely your willingness to challenge these illusions that makes you a powerful force for change. Your mission is to inspire others to live with integrity, to question the narratives they have been fed, and to seek the deeper truths that lie beneath the surface. If you were born between June 1st and 10th, you are an inspiring infiltrator, a soul gifted with the ability to influence and inspire others in subtle yet profound ways. Infiltrators are masters of subtlety, using their charm, creativity, and magnetic presence to plant seeds of awakening in those around them. They often work behind the scenes, influencing change without drawing attention to themselves. As an inspiring infiltrator, your mission is to spread messages of spiritual awakening and truth, but in a way that resonates deeply and gradually with those you touch. You understand that not everyone is ready to hear the full truth all at once, so you use art, music, storytelling, or other creative expressions to convey your message. Your influence is often unnoticed at first, but it leaves a lasting impact on those who encounter it. Your challenge is to trust in the power of your subtle approach. In a world that often rewards loud and aggressive tactics, it can be tempting to feel as though your quiet influence isn't enough. But know that your role is essential. You are the one who sparks change from within, gently guiding people toward greater awareness without forcing them into it. Your mission is to plant the seeds of transformation that will grow in their own time. If your birth date falls between July 11th and 20th, You are the confused chosen one, a soul that feels the weight of a divine purpose but struggles to understand what that purpose is. Confused chosen ones are aware that they are destined for something greater, but often find themselves lost or uncertain about how to fulfill their mission. Your mission, though unclear at times, is to navigate through the confusion and find clarity in your path. This journey is not easy, and it is filled with self-doubt, frustration, and uncertainty. However, it is through this struggle that you will discover the depth of your soul and the truth of your purpose. Your confusion is not a weakness, but a powerful tool for growth, pushing you to explore the depths of your being and the complexities of the world around you. The challenge for you is to remain patient with yourself during this period of uncertainty. Trust that the answers you seek will reveal themselves in time. Your mission is not to have everything figured out right away, but to embrace the journey of self-discovery. As you find your own truth, you will naturally guide others who are also searching for their path. If you were born between August 21st and 30th, you are the Hermit, a soul that finds peace, wisdom, and clarity in solitude. Hermits are introspective by nature, often withdrawing from the chaos of the world to connect with their inner selves and the divine. They understand the power of silence and stillness, and they value their time alone as a way to recharge and gain insight. As a hermit, your mission is to teach others the importance of introspection and connection with oneself. You know that true wisdom does not come from external sources, but from within. Your life is a testament to the power of solitude, and you show others that sometimes the most profound answers come from quiet reflection rather than external noise. However, the challenge for the hermit is to balance solitude with engagement. While it is important to spend time in introspection, your mission also requires you to share the wisdom you've gained with the world. You are not meant to isolate yourself completely, but to use your insights to guide others toward their own spiritual growth. Your presence reminds people that true strength comes from within, and that silence can be a powerful tool for self-discovery. If your birthday falls between October 1st and 10th, you are a warrior, a soul called to fight tirelessly for truth, justice, and freedom. Warriors are defenders of the oppressed, champions of the vulnerable, and protectors of those who cannot defend themselves. They face challenges head-on with courage and determination, and they never back down in the face of adversity. As a warrior, your mission is to lead others in the fight against injustice and oppression. You are driven by a deep sense of duty and honor, and you are willing to sacrifice everything to protect what is right. Your presence is a source of inspiration to those around you, and you often find yourself on the front lines of both spiritual and social battles. But being a warrior is not just about fighting, it is also about leadership. You are a natural guide for those seeking strength and direction. Your mission is to help others discover their own power, to rise against the forces that try to keep them submissive, and to inspire them to fight for themselves and the common good. The challenge for the warrior is to balance strength with compassion. While it is important to fight for what is right, it is equally important to remember that true leadership comes from the heart. Your mission is not just to win battles, but to uplift and inspire those you lead. In this way, you guide others through the darkness, pointing the way to a brighter and more just future. If you were born between November 11th and 20th, you are a healer, a soul gifted with the ability to restore the health and well-being of others, both physically and spiritually. Healers are deeply connected to the energies of healing, and they are often drawn to practices that allow them to use their gifts, whether in medicine, therapy, or spiritual work. As a healer, your mission is to help others achieve a state of harmony and balance, showing them that true healing comes from within. You understand that physical, mental, and spiritual health are interconnected, and your role is to guide others in addressing the root causes of their ailments, rather than just alleviating symptoms. Your challenge is to maintain your own balance while helping others. The work of a healer can be draining, especially when you are constantly taking on the pain and suffering of those around you. It is important for you to practice self-care and to remember that you cannot pour from an empty cup. Your mission is not just to heal others, but to lead by example, showing the world that healing is a holistic process that encompasses all aspects of being. If your birthday falls between December 21st and 30th, you are an elder, a soul that carries deep ancient wisdom accumulated over many lifetimes. Elders are the guardians of knowledge, the keepers of truth, and the guides for future generations. They are often revered for their insights, which are gained through years of experience and observation. As an elder, your mission is to be a beacon of wisdom and truth in a world where superficiality often overshadows understanding. You are deeply connected to the cycles of life and the universal laws that govern the cosmos, and your role is to share this knowledge with those who seek guidance. You understand that your wisdom is not just for the present moment, but is meant to be passed down to future generations. Your challenge is to remain humble in the face of your own knowledge. While you carry great insight, it is important to remember that true wisdom is always evolving. Your mission is not just to impart knowledge, but to inspire others to seek their own truth. You are the guardian of sacred traditions and the protector of the truths that have been passed down through the ages. While your birth date may offer valuable insights into your spiritual path, it is important to remember that you are not confined by it. Every soul has free will, and your choices ultimately shape your journey. The date of your birth may suggest certain tendencies or gifts, but it does not determine your destiny. You have the power to embrace your potential, to nurture your gifts, and to live in alignment with your soul's purpose. Being chosen is not about feeling superior or seeking special privileges. It is about understanding that you have a unique role to play in the divine plan. Whether you are an oracle, a free spirit, a truth teller, or any other archetype, your mission is to use your gifts to elevate humanity and make a positive impact on the world. True spiritual leaders serve with humility, dedication, and a deep commitment to the greater good. In the end, it is not the day you were born that defines your spiritual destiny, but how you choose to live each day that matters most. Every moment offers an opportunity to align with your soul's purpose, to act with intention, and to contribute to the collective evolution of humanity. Whether you were born on a special date or not, you have the potential to grow spiritually and to leave a lasting legacy in the world. The idea of being a chosen one resonates deeply with many people, but it is important to approach this belief with humility and responsibility. Spiritual gifts are not meant for personal gain, but for the benefit of all. The path of spiritual leadership is one of service, integrity, and continuous self-improvement. As you reflect on your own birth date and its possible significance, remember that you are the author of your own story. The choices you make, the actions you take, and the love you share are what truly define your spiritual journey. Embrace the opportunity to live fully, to explore your soul's purpose, and to radiate your light in the world. Every step you take brings you closer to the fulfillment of your divine mission, and the world needs your light now more than ever. Thank you for being a part of this journey, and if this message has touched you or inspired your own path of self-discovery, I invite you to subscribe to the channel for more content that supports your spiritual growth. By liking and sharing this video, you can help others uncover their own purpose and walk their divine path. And I'd love to hear from you. Feel free to comment below and share how your birth date or spiritual insights have influenced your journey. Together, we can illuminate the world with love, wisdom, and purpose. Thank you for your presence and your light. Have you ever paused to reflect on the impact of your presence? The way a room seems to shift when you walk in? The way eyes naturally turn to you for guidance, comfort, and hope? There is something extraordinary about you, something even you may not fully comprehend. But let me assure you, this is no accident. You have been chosen by God Himself, entrusted with a sacred authority unlike any other. You are a beacon of light, divinely placed in this world to inspire, uplift, and lead. This calling, this light, is not a coincidence. It is your divine purpose. The Bible tells us in Matthew 5:14, "You are the light of the world. A city on a hill cannot be hidden." This scripture encapsulates your role, to shine brightly, offering hope in a world often clouded by darkness. Yet let me ask you, have you fully embraced this calling, or do you sometimes doubt the magnitude of the power that lies within you? Today, let this message awaken something deep within your spirit, affirming that you were made for this. If this resonates with your soul, type Amen or 77 as a declaration of your readiness to embrace this divine role. As you step forward, let the truth of this message settle in your heart. You are not here by chance. You are chosen, empowered, and equipped for a mission that only you can fulfill. The authority you carry is not of earthly origin. It is a sacred gift, a divine mantle carefully woven into your spirit from the moment of your creation. This authority is not random or arbitrary. It is deliberate, purposeful, and profound. It marks you as someone set apart, someone called to lead with intention, inspire meaningful transformation, and radiate light into even the darkest corners of the world. This authority is deeply spiritual, transcending human logic and operating on a level that impacts lives in ways seen and unseen. It carries the power to shift atmospheres, bringing harmony where there was chaos, hope where there was despair, and clarity where confusion once reigned. It is not a tool for self-gain, but a divine instrument entrusted to you to fulfill a purpose far greater than yourself. This authority you possess resonates beyond mere influence. It is a force that cannot be manufactured or replicated, flowing effortlessly through your words, actions, and presence. When you speak, your words carry the weight of wisdom, echoing truths that deeply move and inspire others. Your presence alone brings peace to those around you, offering a sanctuary of calm in turbulent times. And your actions, often quiet and understated, ignite profound change, sparking hope, healing, and renewal in the lives of those you touch. What makes this authority truly extraordinary is that it is not something you must earn or prove. It is not dependent on external validation or worldly measures of success. Rather, it is an intrinsic part of your very identity, as natural to you as the breath you take. People are instinctively drawn to you, often without understanding why. They sense something unique, an aura of calm strength, a light that cuts through darkness, a wisdom that speaks directly to their hearts. They come to you for solace, guidance, and inspiration because they recognize, even if subconsciously, the divine essence that flows through you. In moments of doubt, you may wonder why so much is placed upon your shoulders, but let me assure you, it is no accident. You are not ordinary, nor is the life you are meant to lead. This authority was instilled in you with purpose and precision, designed to equip you for a mission that only you can fulfill. Your wisdom, compassion, and quiet strength make you an anchor in turbulent times, a steady source of hope when others feel lost. The divine authority within you is both a responsibility and a blessing, a light meant not just to illuminate your own path but to guide countless others to a place of peace, purpose, and grace. Trust in this calling. Lean into the authority you carry, knowing that it is divinely placed and eternal. As you embrace it fully, you will come to see the profound ways in which your presence, your words, and your actions transform the world around you. This is your purpose. This is your destiny. Chosen ones, God has blessed you with spiritual gifts that are both unique and profound, manifestations of His divine authority working through you. These gifts are not merely talents or skills. They are sacred tools, entrusted to you for a purpose far greater than yourself. They reveal God's hand in your life, equipping you to fulfill your calling and serve as a vessel of His love, wisdom, and power. Some of you may find yourselves having prophetic dreams or visions, glimpses of divine insight that guide you and offer clarity to those around you. Others may discover that your words carry an unusual weight, bringing healing to the wounded, encouragement to the weary, or a deep sense of peace to those in turmoil. Even your mere presence can be a source of comfort and reassurance, a reflection of God's peace that flows through you. These gifts are not random or coincidental. They are intentional expressions of God's purpose for your life, crafted specifically for the unique mission you have been called to fulfill. They are extensions of His authority, moving through you to touch the lives of others. Each time you offer a word of wisdom, extend compassion, or lend support, you are exercising these divine gifts. In doing so, you are not only meeting the immediate needs of those around you, but also contributing to God's eternal plan, leaving an impact that stretches far beyond what you can see. The Bible speaks to this profound truth in John 15:16. You did not choose me, but I chose you and appointed you so that you might go and bear fruit that will last. This verse reminds us that you have been deliberately chosen, hand-picked by God for a specific purpose. You are not here by chance, nor are your gifts accidental. They have been given to you so that you might bear fruit, spiritual, lasting fruit that will ripple into eternity. Every act of kindness, every prayer spoken in faith, every moment of guidance you provide is part of this divine mission. However, these gifts are not meant to be sources of pride or personal glory. They are sacred responsibilities, to be carried with humility and gratitude. To embrace them fully, you must recognize their divine origin and use them to glorify God, not yourself. They are not about making you stand out, but about allowing His light to shine through you, illuminating the paths of those in darkness. Embrace these gifts as both a privilege and a responsibility. Let them be a reminder that you are an instrument of God's will, chosen to bring hope, healing, and transformation to the world. Nurture them with prayer, align them with His purpose, and use them boldly yet humbly. In doing so, you fulfill your role as a beacon of His love, spreading His light in ways that will echo throughout eternity. This is your divine calling, and through these gifts, you leave an impact that will endure forever. Have you ever noticed how the atmosphere changes when you walk into a room? Negativity seems to lift, and tension begins to dissolve. Those who harbor ill intentions may find themselves uneasy or retreat entirely when you stand firm. This is not a coincidence or mere happenstance. It is the power of the divine light within you. The darkness, no matter how strong, cannot withstand the light you carry. It recognizes the spiritual authority you hold, and it is forced to yield. This is the manifestation of God's presence within you, a shield of divine protection and purpose that nothing in the spiritual realm can overpower. The enemy, aware of the power you wield, will try to challenge your authority. It may come in the form of doubt, fear, or unexpected resistance from others, but none of this can truly harm you. Remember the promise of Isaiah 54:17. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. This is God's assurance that while the enemy may attempt to attack, those efforts will ultimately fail. You are divinely shielded, wrapped in a mantle of protection that comes from the highest authority. The forces of darkness may try to disrupt your journey, but they cannot overcome the light you carry, a light that comes directly from God. This authority is more than a blessing. It is a sacred responsibility. It is not given for personal gain, recognition, or power. Instead, it is entrusted to you for the glory of God and the healing of others. Your calling requires you to move with both wisdom and love, exercising discernment in every action and using your gifts to uplift, inspire, and guide. You have been called to be a vessel of God's light, bringing hope to the hopeless, strength to the weary, and clarity to the lost. As Ephesians 6:12 reminds us, our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms. The authority you carry is not limited to the physical world. It transcends earthly boundaries, reaching into the spiritual realm to combat forces that seek to sow despair, confusion, and division. Even when the impact of your light is not immediately visible, know that your presence is shifting lives and circumstances in ways you may not fully comprehend. Walking in this authority requires you to remain rooted in your faith. Challenges will come, but they are opportunities to strengthen your connection to God and deepen your reliance on Him. In every trial, turn to Him for wisdom, guidance, and protection. Lean on His promises and trust in His plan, knowing that He has equipped you with everything you need to fulfill your calling. You are a beacon, chosen to reflect God's glory and carry His light into the world. Stand firm in this truth, knowing that no darkness can overshadow the light within you. As you embrace this divine authority, you will see the profound ways in which your presence brings healing, peace, and transformation to those around you. Being chosen is a profound honor, a divine acknowledgement of your unique purpose in this world. Yet it is also a sacred responsibility, one that carries both blessings and burdens. To be chosen means to carry a light so powerful that it cannot be ignored. It draws people to you, those seeking hope, healing, and inspiration. But it also attracts challenges and opposition. Not everyone will celebrate your light. Some will react with envy, misunderstanding, or even hostility. This is not because of any fault in you, but because your light illuminates things that some are not ready to face. It disrupts the shadows where darkness thrives, and this makes you a threat to forces that seek to keep others in despair. The challenges you face as one who is chosen are a testament to the significance of your calling. Darkness does not challenge what it does not fear. Your light, your purpose, your divine authority. They are powerful enough to unsettle the forces that oppose goodness and truth. When you encounter resistance, remember that it is not about you as an individual, but about the spiritual mission you carry. The enemy seeks to undermine the work God is doing through you, but it cannot prevail. Jesus Himself experienced this, and His words in John 15:18 offer comfort and perspective. If the world hates you, keep in mind that it hated me first. These words remind you that opposition is not a sign of failure, but an affirmation that you are walking the path God has laid out for you. Just as Jesus endured challenges for the sake of His mission, so too will you face trials as you carry out yours. But take heart, Jesus overcame the world, and through Him, you are equipped to do the same. When challenges arise, lean into the practices that strengthen your connection to God. Prayer is your lifeline, a direct conversation with the One who has called and empowered you. In moments of difficulty, pour out your heart to God, trusting Him to provide the wisdom and strength you need. Meditation allows you to quiet the noise of opposition and reconnect with the peace and clarity that come from God's presence. Your unwavering faith is your anchor, holding you steady as the storms of resistance swirl around you. As you face opposition, resist the urge to retaliate or respond in anger. Your role is not to fight darkness with darkness, but to shine even brighter. Offer compassion and grace, even to those who resist or oppose your light. This does not mean tolerating mistreatment or compromising your boundaries, but it does mean choosing love over resentment. In doing so, you reflect the character of Christ, who responded to His persecutors with forgiveness and mercy. Your light is a divine gift, and no amount of resistance can extinguish it. Stand firm in your authority, knowing that you are divinely protected and supported. Each challenge is an opportunity to grow stronger in your purpose and deepen your reliance on God. Continue to shine boldly, for your light is not only a testament to God's presence in your life, but also a beacon of hope for those still searching for their way. Even the brightest light can feel dimmed at times. Exhaustion, self-doubt, and the heavy responsibility of your calling may leave you feeling depleted, as though your flame is fading. Yet take heart in this unchanging truth. Your light is never extinguished. It is not fragile, nor is it dependent on external circumstances. Like the sun, your divine essence remains constant, even when clouds of weariness or uncertainty obscure it. Though you may not always feel its brilliance, it continues to shine, unwavering in its purpose. In these moments of weariness, turn to God, your source of endless renewal. Let His word remind you of His promise, The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? He is your strength when you are weak, your comfort when you feel lost, and the spark that reignites your spirit when it seems dimmed. Lean into His presence, allowing Him to restore what has been drained and to refill you with the peace and clarity only He can provide. To nurture your light, embrace practices that draw you closer to God. Prayer is your direct line to Him, a sacred dialogue where you can pour out your heart and receive His guidance. Meditation offers stillness, allowing you to hear His voice more clearly amidst the noise. Time spent in His Word feeds your spirit, reminding you of His promises and aligning your heart with His will. Seek out a community of like-minded souls who walk similar paths. These relationships can be a source of encouragement and strength, their lights merging with yours to create a beacon of hope that transforms not just your life, but the lives of those around you. Together, your lights will shine even brighter, creating a ripple effect of hope and transformation. As a chosen one, you are stepping into a season of extraordinary manifestation, a time when the alignment between your will and God's purpose is bringing your prayers and intentions to life at an accelerated pace. Opportunities that once seemed unreachable are now within your grasp, unfolding with divine timing and precision. This season is not solely about personal gain, but about fulfilling the greater mission God has entrusted to you. The blessings you receive are tools to advance His kingdom, touch lives, and bring hope to others. Proverbs 18:21 reminds us of the profound power of our words. The tongue has the power of life and death. In this season, your words hold even greater influence, carrying the potential to shape reality. Speak life boldly, declare blessings over your journey, and align every action with God's will. Each word spoken in faith is a seed planted in fertile soil, yielding fruit that glorifies God and furthers His purpose. However, this season calls for heightened mindfulness. Guard your thoughts, ensuring they remain aligned with your divine calling. What you focus on will grow, so choose to dwell on what is pure, noble, and purposeful. Gratitude will be your anchor during this time of abundance. By recognizing God as the source of your blessings, you amplify His favor and keep your heart centered on His purpose. As you walk in this divine favor, remember that your blessings are not just for you. Use your platform to uplift others, to speak words that inspire, and to guide those who feel lost back to their connection with God. This season of manifestation is your opportunity to shine brightly, not for your glory, but for His. Let your light lead others toward faith, hope, and renewal. With elevation comes both recognition and resistance, a dual reality that accompanies the path of a chosen one. As you rise into your divine calling, some will see your light and celebrate it, inspired by the hope and guidance you provide. Yet others may feel threatened by your radiance and attempt to diminish it through criticism, envy, or misunderstanding. This is a natural part of your journey, a reflection not of any flaw in you, but of the spiritual significance of your mission. Take heart in this truth. No human opposition can overshadow the divine authority you carry. The power that flows through you is not of this world, but from God Himself. It is eternal, unshakable, and far beyond the reach of earthly resistance. God has equipped you with spiritual tools, prayer to fortify your spirit, discernment to see beyond surface conflicts, and unwavering faith to anchor you in His promises. These are your divine weapons, enabling you to stand firm against any challenge and continue walking in your purpose. When faced with envy or criticism, respond not with frustration, but with compassion. Understand that those who oppose you are often struggling with their own shadows, fears, insecurities, or unhealed wounds. Like Jesus, who prayed for those who persecuted Him, extend grace even to those who resist or misunderstand your light. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called children of God. By choosing love over resentment, you reflect the divine love that fuels your mission, turning opposition into an opportunity to showcase God's grace. Remember, your light was never meant to dim in the face of resistance. Let your actions and spirit shine even brighter, rooted in compassion, humility, and divine purpose. Through your example, you can transform even opposition into a testament to the power of God's love. You were created for a purpose far greater than yourself. Your life is a living testament to God's love and power, a beacon of hope in a world that desperately needs it. As Isaiah 60 verse 1 declares, "Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you." Embrace this truth with humility and strength, knowing that your journey is divinely orchestrated. Every challenge you face refines your spirit. Every act of kindness fulfills your mission, and every step forward brings you closer to the destiny God has prepared for you. Stand firm in your authority, nurture your light, and walk boldly in faith. The world needs your radiance, your compassion, and your unwavering hope. You are not just a participant in this life, you are a chosen one, a vessel through which God's miracles unfold. If this message has stirred your soul, take a moment to affirm it. Type Amen or 77 in the comments below, and let this be your declaration of faith. Share this message to inspire others. Subscribe to our channel for more uplifting content, and continue to shine your light brightly. May God bless you with wisdom, strength, and peace as you walk boldly in your calling. Remember, the best is yet to come. You are chosen. You are loved. You are a light in this world. What if I told you that God has a unique way of protecting those He has chosen? That no matter how difficult the journey gets, there's a divine force guiding, shielding, and ensuring that they fulfill their purpose? Today, we're going to explore the powerful ways in which God watches over His chosen ones, how He stands between them and the challenges they face, often without them even realizing it. Perhaps you've experienced moments in your life where things could have gone wrong but didn't. Or times when you felt an unseen hand leading you out of danger or pushing you forward when everything seemed against you. These are no accidents. They are signs of God's divine protection. In this video, we'll reveal the truth behind this sacred shield, how it works, and how you can recognize it in your life. If you're ready to dive deeper into God's plan for His chosen ones and discover the strength He's placed around you, don't forget to subscribe. By joining our community, you'll stay connected to powerful insights that will inspire and uplift your spiritual journey. There's more ahead, and you won't want to miss it. The Bible tells us in Zechariah 2:8, "For thus saith the Lord of hosts, after the glory hath He sent me unto the nations which spoiled you, for he that toucheth you toucheth the apple of His eye." Imagine that for a moment. You are the apple of God's eye, a precious treasured possession that He guards zealously. Just as a parent instinctively shields their child from harm, God is ever vigilant over you. His eyes are always upon you, and His presence surrounds you, even when you are unaware of it. Think about the depth of this statement. Being the apple of His eye implies that you are at the center of His focus and care. It is not a casual glance or a fleeting concern. God's attention to you is intense, deliberate, and filled with love. Just as the pupil of the eye is instinctively and reflexively protected, so too does God respond to any threat or harm that comes near His beloved children. This phrase reflects an intimacy and a closeness with God that goes beyond mere observation. It speaks of a deep, abiding love and a commitment to your well-being. Moreover, being the apple of God's eye means that He sees you through a lens of grace and mercy. He understands your struggles, your fears, and your pains. He is not a distant observer, but a compassionate Father who feels your hurts and rejoices in your victories. His protection is not just about preventing physical harm. It encompasses emotional, spiritual, and psychological care as well. He guards your heart against the wounds of this world, shielding you from despair and filling you with His peace. God's protection is also proactive, not just reactive. He prepares a path ahead of you, removing obstacles and providing guidance. He whispers to your spirit, nudging you away from choices that could lead to harm and toward those that will bring you closer to Him. His word acts as a lamp unto your feet, illuminating the way forward in times of darkness. Every day, in ways both seen and unseen, He is crafting a fortress around you, a spiritual hedge that no enemy can penetrate. This divine vigilance is not only a testament to His power, but also to His love. It is a reminder that you are never truly alone, never outside of His sight, and never beyond the reach of His caring hand. No matter where you go or what challenges you face, you are always, always the apple of His eye. Life is often a series of unanswered questions. There are moments when God's ways seem mysterious, when His plans are not immediately clear. You may find yourself in a season of waiting, uncertainty, or even suffering. It's in these times that the enemy seeks to sow seeds of doubt and fear, whispering lies that you are forgotten or forsaken. During these difficult seasons, it is easy to feel lost, as if you are wandering through a dark, endless tunnel without a light to guide your path. The weight of unanswered prayers and the silence of heaven can feel like a burden too heavy to bear. You may ask, where is God in all of this? Why is He allowing me to endure such pain? These are natural human responses to suffering. Yet it is precisely in these moments of uncertainty that our faith is tested and refined, much like gold is purified in the fire. God's ways may be beyond our understanding, but His love for us is unwavering. Even when we cannot see the full picture, He sees it perfectly. He knows the beginning from the end, and He is orchestrating every detail of our lives for a purpose that is far greater than we could ever imagine. Furthermore, these times of waiting and suffering are opportunities for us to strengthen our spiritual muscles. Just as physical muscles grow stronger through resistance and strain, our faith grows stronger when we learn to rely on God in the midst of trials. The enemy would have us believe that we are alone, that God has abandoned us. But Scripture reminds us otherwise. In Deuteronomy 31:6, God promises, "I will never leave you nor forsake you." His presence is constant, even when we cannot feel it. It is in the deepest valleys of our lives that we often encounter God in the most profound ways. When all else is stripped away, and we are left with nothing but our faith, we find that God is more than enough. He meets us in our brokenness, in our confusion, and in our pain, offering comfort and peace that surpasses all understanding. These are the moments when His grace is most evident, when His strength becomes our own, and when His love becomes the anchor for our souls. So, when you find yourself in a season of unanswered questions, remember this: God is still there. He is still working. He is still loving you with an everlasting love. And while you may not understand His ways now, there will come a day when all will be made clear. Until then, hold fast to His promises, trust in His goodness, lean into His grace, and know that even in the silence, even in the waiting, He is with you, guiding you, shaping you, and preparing you for a future filled with His hope and His glory. But how do we trust God when the storms of life rage around us? When we are faced with trials that seem insurmountable? When we are walking through a valley so dark that we cannot see the way forward? The answer lies in faith, a deep, abiding trust in the goodness and faithfulness of God, even when we do not understand His ways. Faith is more than just a belief. It is an unshakable confidence in God's character and His promises. It is the firm assurance that God is who He says He is, and that He will do what He has promised, even when our circumstances seem to suggest otherwise. This kind of faith requires us to look beyond what we can see with our physical eyes and focus on the unseen reality of God's presence and power. It is about choosing to believe that God is in control, that He is working all things for our good, even when the evidence around us seems to indicate the contrary. Consider the story of Peter walking on water in the midst of a storm. When Peter kept his eyes on Jesus, he was able to do the impossible. He walked on water. But the moment he took his eyes off Jesus and focused on the wind and waves around him, he began to sink. This story illustrates a powerful truth. The key to standing firm in the storm is keeping our eyes fixed on Jesus. When we focus on Him, rather than the circumstances surrounding us, we find the strength to keep going, to rise above the waves, and to move forward in faith. Furthermore, trusting God in difficult times is not a passive act. It is an active choice. It is about choosing to worship when we feel like worrying, choosing to pray when we feel like panicking, and choosing to declare God's promises over our lives when we feel like giving up. It means filling our minds and hearts with His Word, allowing His truth to drown out the lies of the enemy. It is in these moments of active faith that we draw closer to God and experience His presence in deeper, more intimate ways. In addition, faith is nurtured in community. Surrounding ourselves with other believers who can encourage us, pray with us, and remind us of God's promises is vital. There is strength in numbers, and when we are surrounded by a community of faith, we are less likely to succumb to fear and doubt. We are reminded that we are not alone, that others have walked this path before us, and that God is faithful to see us through. Ultimately, trusting God in the storms of life is about placing our hope in His sovereignty and His unfailing love. It is about believing that He is with us in the boat, calming the storm within us even if the storm around us continues to rage. It is about clinging to the truth that God is good, that He is in control, and that He will carry us safely to the other side. So even when the waves crash and the winds howl, hold on to your faith. Keep your eyes on Jesus, trust in His love, and know that He is with you every step of the way. Throughout Scripture, God has given us countless promises of His protection and provision. In Isaiah 43:2, He says, "When you pass through the waters, I will be with you, and through the rivers, they shall not overflow you. When you walk through the fire, you shall not be burned, nor shall the flame scorch you." Notice that God does not say, "if you pass through the waters," but "when you pass through the waters." Trials are a part of life, but so is God's presence in the midst of them. This distinction is crucial. It reminds us that hardship and adversity are inevitable parts of the human experience. God never promises a life free from trouble. Rather, He promises His steadfast presence and unfailing support through every trial. The waters and fires mentioned in Isaiah 43:2 are not just metaphorical. They represent the overwhelming circumstances we all face, moments of deep distress, uncertainty, and fear. Yet God's assurance is not that we will avoid these difficulties, but that He will be with us through them, guiding us, holding us, and ensuring that we are not consumed by them. God's promises are not meant to suggest a life without pain, but a life where His presence transforms pain into purpose. When we pass through the waters, those turbulent times when we feel as if we are drowning under the weight of our burdens, He is there to lift us up, to sustain us. When we walk through the fire, those intense trials that threaten to burn away our hope and joy, He is our shield, ensuring that the flames refine rather than destroy us. His presence provides a protective barrier, a spiritual armor that shields us from ultimate harm. These promises also highlight God's intimate understanding of our human condition. He knows our fears, our weaknesses, and our tendency to despair when faced with adversity. He doesn't merely offer vague reassurances. He speaks directly to our most profound fears, promising not just survival, but safety in His presence. He knows that the waters and fires of life can make us feel vulnerable and exposed, but He assures us that we are never truly alone or unprotected. God's promises are both a source of comfort and a call to action. They comfort us in knowing that we are not alone in our struggles. At the same time, they call us to actively trust in His provision and to seek His presence in every circumstance. His promise is not a guarantee of a trouble-free life, but a life where His grace, mercy, and protection are constantly at work. As we pass through the waters and walk through the fire, we are called to remember that God is always at our side, making a way where there seems to be no way, and turning our trials into testimonies of His unending love and faithfulness. There is a profound peace that comes from learning to rest in God's sovereignty. To rest is not to be inactive, but rather to place your trust in God's perfect plan and timing. It is to release your need for control and surrender to the one who holds the universe in his hands. It is to believe that God is working all things together for your good, even when the outcome is not yet visible. Resting in God's sovereignty means acknowledging that His wisdom is far greater than ours. It is understanding that His perspective encompasses all of time and space, and that He sees the entirety of our lives, from beginning to end, while we see only a small part. When we rest in God's sovereignty, we trust that He knows what is best for us, even when we cannot comprehend it. It's about relinquishing our desires to dictate the terms of our lives and embracing the reality that God's plans are infinitely more beautiful and beneficial than anything we could imagine for ourselves. Resting in God's sovereignty is also a profound act of faith. It means choosing to see God's hand at work in every situation, even when the situation appears bleak. It means finding contentment in the waiting periods, knowing that God is using these times to mold us, to shape our character, and to prepare us for what lies ahead. Just as a farmer waits patiently for the seed to grow after planting, so too must we learn to wait for God's plans to unfold, trusting that every season has its purpose. Moreover, to rest in God's sovereignty is to find peace in His promises. The Bible is filled with assurances that God is in control, that He is working all things for the good of those who love Him. This truth allows us to release our grip on life and trust that He is orchestrating every detail according to His divine purpose. It's recognizing that our lives are not random or accidental, but carefully crafted by a loving Creator who has a plan for each of us. This rest also brings freedom. Freedom from the burden of trying to control outcomes or fix every problem. Freedom from the anxiety that comes from feeling like everything depends on us. When we rest in God's sovereignty, we are liberated from the need to have all the answers. We are free to live with a light heart, knowing that God is carrying the weight of our worries and guiding us along the path He has set before us. Ultimately, resting in God's sovereignty means trusting that He is good, that He is faithful, and that He is unchanging. It is a commitment to hold fast to His promises and to trust that He is working all things according to His perfect will, even when we cannot see the full picture. This rest brings a profound peace that transcends understanding, a peace that guards our hearts and minds in Christ Jesus. It is a peace that comes from knowing that, come what may, our lives are securely held in the hands of a loving and sovereign God. Faith is not passive, it is active and alive. It requires a response. When you find yourself in a situation that seems impossible, choose to act in faith. Speak God's promises over your life. Declare His word over your circumstances. Refuse to give in to fear and doubt. Remember, faith is not the absence of fear. It is the courage to move forward in spite of it. Faith is a powerful force that transforms our lives and circumstances. It is not a mere wishful thinking or blind optimism, but a confident assurance in God's character and His promises. True faith compels us to step out of our comfort zones and take bold actions, even when we cannot see the entire path ahead. It is believing that God is who He says He is and will do what He has promised, regardless of our current situation or the challenges we face. Faith also involves speaking life into our circumstances. The Bible teaches us that the tongue has the power of life and death. By declaring God's promises over our lives, we align our words with His truth, allowing His power to flow through us. When we speak words of faith, we activate the spiritual authority that God has given us, and we set into motion the promises of God. This act of declaring His word is not just about positive thinking. It is about proclaiming the reality of God's kingdom over the temporary reality of our situation. Faith is also about taking practical steps that align with what we believe. If we are believing God for a breakthrough, we must prepare for it as though it is already on its way. For example, if we are praying for a job, we don't sit idly by. We update our resume, apply for positions, and prepare for interviews. If we are trusting God for healing, We speak words of health and wholeness over our bodies. We pursue wisdom in our lifestyle choices, and we may even seek medical counsel, all while trusting that ultimate healing comes from Him. Faith, therefore, is dynamic and involves our whole being, our thoughts, words, and actions. It calls us to be fully engaged, to step into the unknown with confidence, knowing that God is with us. It is about trusting God's promises more than we trust our fears. And even when fear and doubt arise, as they inevitably will, faith gives us the courage to keep moving forward, one step at a time, trusting that God is leading us, guiding us, and providing for us every step of the way. So when you face a mountain that seems too high to climb, remember that faith is the key to moving it. When you encounter a storm that threatens to capsize your boat, remember that faith is the anchor that holds you steady. And when you feel overwhelmed by the trials of life, remember that faith is the light that leads you out of the darkness. Choose to act in faith today. Trust in God's promises, declare His truth over your life, and move forward with the assurance that God is with you, guiding your steps and preparing the way. One of the most challenging aspects of faith is waiting on God's timing. We live in an instant gratification culture, but God operates on a different timeline. His timing is perfect, and He is never in a hurry. When you find yourself in a season of waiting, remember that God is not withholding from you, but preparing you for what lies ahead. There is a work being done in your character, in your spirit, and in your understanding of who God is. Waiting on God's timing requires patience and trust, two qualities that are often in short supply in our fast-paced world. In a society where we are accustomed to quick fixes and immediate results, waiting can feel frustrating and even painful. We want our prayers answered now, our problems solved today, and our dreams fulfilled tomorrow. Yet God's process is often slower and more deliberate, designed to accomplish more profound and lasting changes in our lives. The waiting period is not a time of inactivity, but rather a critical time of preparation, growth, and transformation. During these seasons of waiting, God is shaping our hearts and refining our spirits. Just as gold is refined in the fire, so too are our faith and character, refined through periods of waiting and uncertainty. God uses these times to strip away our dependence on things that are not of Him and to deepen our reliance on His strength and provision. It is in the waiting that we learn to trust God's goodness, even when we don't understand His methods or see immediate results. Waiting also fosters gratitude. When we finally receive what we have been praying for, after a period of waiting, we appreciate it more deeply. We recognize it as a gift from God, not something we earned or achieved on our own. The joy of receiving is amplified because it is coupled with the growth and maturity that developed during the waiting period. This gratitude further enriches our relationship with God, as we see more clearly His hand at work in our lives. Ultimately, waiting on God is an exercise in trusting His character. It is about believing that God is good, that He is for us, and that His plans for us are better than anything we could plan for ourselves. It is about surrendering our timeline to His, and believing that He knows the desires of our hearts better than we do. It is about resting in the assurance that those who wait on the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. This kind of waiting is not passive but active, filled with hope and expectation, knowing that in God's perfect timing, all things will come to pass for our good and His glory. So, when you find yourself in a season of waiting, do not be discouraged. Remember that God is at work, both in the seen and unseen, crafting something beautiful out of your waiting. Trust that He is preparing you for something greater than you could ever imagine, and that in His time, He will fulfill His promises to you in ways that far exceed your expectations. As we've explored today, God's protection over His chosen ones is profound, intimate, and unwavering. He guards us not just from physical dangers, but also from the unseen forces that seek to harm our souls. His love surrounds us like a shield, and His promises are a refuge we can always run to. Whether you are walking through a season of joy or facing a storm that feels unending, remember this: God is with you. He sees you. He values you as the apple of his eye. Trust in his protection and lean into his promises. When you feel alone or overwhelmed, turn to his word and remind yourself that he is your deliverer and your strength. His plans for you are good, and he is working behind the scenes, even when you can't see it. Take a moment to reflect on the ways God has been faithful to you in the past, and let that give you confidence for the future. Know that as one of his chosen, you are under his divine covering. He will never leave you nor forsake you. So, stand firm in your faith, hold on to his promises, and let his peace, which surpasses all understanding, guard your heart and mind. Thank you for joining us today. If this message has touched your heart, please like this video and share it with someone who might need to hear this truth. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on more encouraging content like this. Let us know in the comments how God has protected you or what topics you'd like us to cover in future videos. Remember, you are loved, you are chosen, and you are always under God's mighty protection. Stay blessed, and see you in the next video.